Want to know the value of thorough ownership research when building your first commercial real estate database? Let's dive in. What's up, hot sauce? Alicia Shepherd here with Nucleus Commercial Real Estate Training. And today I am here to pour some knowledge on you about the value of thorough ownership research while you're building your database in commercial real estate. See, your database is only as powerful as the research behind it. If you skip your ownership homework, you are just guessing. And when you just guess, well, you might as well go be a residential agent. And that's not a dig on residential agents, but if I'm just going to call homeowners, I should go sell houses. See, what we need to do in commercial real estate is a little bit different. If I'm going to sell office building A at 123 Main Street, I can't just go look them up in the yellow pages and call office building A at 123 Main Street, because the people that are inside that office building, unless it's an owner user, more times than not are going to be tenants. And when I call the people in that building, I'm calling tenants. Now, if you're a tenant rep, great news. The Yellow Pages is going to do some great work for you. But if you're specializing in landlord representation, investment sales, you need to actually know who the owner is. And so as you do your research in the beginning portion of your career, I strongly, deeply recommend pulling a core database. We talk about this ad nauseum inside Nucleus Core and inside the module for the 8-week database. You can grab our book at nucleuscre.com. And in the 8-week database, we really encourage you to have anywhere from 1,800 to 2,500 properties in your initial database if you're investment real estate focused, or if you're focused really in the multifamily space. If you're working with landlords or tenant rep, then that's more of a relationship focused database. If I'm going landlord rep, I might only have 300 to 500 buildings in there, depending on the size of those buildings. If I'm tenant rep, I'm still probably looking for somewhere around 1,800 to 2,000 relationships, businesses that I want to saturate, and I want to keep those moving through. And those different things are broken down inside the 8-week database book. You can grab that book on our website. So I'll leave that for there. But the ownership research itself, you got to understand the importance of, and that's what I want to stress with you today, because so many agents try to dive in and jump past it and then wonder, why did this not work? Well, here's why it matters. If you skip ownership research, you're going to A, call the wrong people, B, miss the real decision makers. You'll end up talking to people that aren't actually in charge of the financial authority of the building or the financial authority of the business. And C, most importantly, you're going to waste your time and lose credibility. Without those things, you just end up suffering. And for many agents, I believe this is why they flush out of the business in their first 12 months, because they just never got their databasing correct. This is a vital mistake, and I think a death blow to many agents. When we get this right, you end up calling the true owner faster and having a better shot at getting into authentic relationship. You get around that whole issue of, what about the gatekeeper? We learn how to get through and work in partnership with the gatekeeper in Nucleus Core, and you can learn how to do that too. But your research is a huge step to do that. Having this research also helps you understand motivations and patterns that live inside your product type, your chosen marketplace, and inside your overall database group. And it helps you build a database that actually will compound value over the years. With great research on ownership information, whether you realize it or not, you've tapped into a data set that's actually no one digitally has figured out the code on how to go scrub yet. See, there's tools out there and resources that all say, we'll go find all the phone numbers for you. But in case you haven't noticed, if you pay for those expensive, fancy services, none of them do it perfect. They all give you a batch of the same phone numbers that everyone can find online and publicly. By the way, you can find them online for free at Fast People Search and TruePeopleSearch.com for free. The same phone numbers that those paid services are pulling them from, in case you want to go do this work for free. You can reverse search your LLCs and Corporation Wiki and then go through there. Again, Nucleus Core, we have this whole back end done for you. But as you go through that, you're going to notice they're just giving you all the information you can find online. They're grabbing all of it, vomiting it out at you for a couple $100 a month and saying, okay, now you go call it, dear agent. And agents go call it. They get lost in the sauce and go, well, I'm having to call couple hundred numbers to get through to 4 or 5 people a day. This is horrible. Yes, it is. It's hard work. And no one said this was going to be easy. It is simple, but it's not easy. And so as you do this work, the more you dial it in, the more you get to the right phone number and the right human, the right email address. If you can stack that information up, your database becomes valuable. Your database starts to become a valuable asset inside your business that should you decide to sell one day, if you maintain those records, you start now keeping information notes about the relationship alongside it, you actually have an asset that you can put a valuation on inside your business. But if you're always buying your database and keeping it live based on someone else's research, or you're pulling new lists every other week and calling new people every other week and hunting new things every other week, you never add value to your business. And the day you retire, your business is done too, and you have a valuation of 0. Because when you die, the relationships die with you. Not you die, but you die in your business. You get what I mean? So the longer term value means that even if ownership changes, the records stay inside your database. Each piece of research starts to build equity inside your business. The more accurate the database, the more valuable that database has become and the more valuable your business. Your database can become your retirement plan, but not if you build it on sand. So if you haven't done thorough ownership research, you're going to have a problem.
Sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to ask you if you take a moment and subscribe to our channel and click that little bell so you're notified every time we drop a new video. We always answer questions, and likes and comments really help us know if we're on track and giving you what you want. Now back to Alicia.
So let's talk through the process just a little bit. You're going to start with public records. Many people tell you go all the way back to county appraisal or Secretary of State filings. I think that's a little too far. And in real estate, we've got some hacks that we can use to get around this. If you're anything like me, your brokerage office has title reps roaming around them like crazy, or you have a title rep around you that wants to be your best bud. If you don't, reach out to us. We can hook you up with one that's amazing. We have a fleet of them that knock on our door all the time. You need a commercial real estate title rep, someone who specializes in commercial. And you're going to tell them, I want to specialize in this type of real estate, in this market, in this size. So that might sound like, hi, title rep, I'm Alicia, and I want to specialize in industrial properties in Hayes County, Texas, anywhere 5,000 to 20,000 square feet. Can you pull me title records or a title farm of all the industrial properties that match that search? And you know what every title rep is going to say? Yeah, I could do that. Now, some of them may say, I need a usage code or I need to better understand a few things. They might have a few questions, but if you call it a farm, they're going to connect the dot. They understand the language of farm. Farming and title is just how they batch properties together for their marketing purposes. It's used traditionally in the residential side at a very high level. So when we use language that they understand, we connect the dots so easy over here. So you're not going to go all the way back. We're just going to start at the title level. They're going to send you this gargantuan Excel sheet. And in that Excel sheet, it's going to have the property records and the ownership records. Those ownership records will correlate to whatever APN or tax record ID number each property has. Again, you're looking for somewhere between 1,800 to 2,000, right? Get your size right. You need the right size database. Go back to Nucleus Core or 8-week database to dial that in, or hit us up if you have questions. But once you have that, you're going to see your property record and you're going to see ownership. Now, if the ownership is in an LLC or any form of corporation, you're going to go reverse search that on corporationwiki.com. That's corporationwiki.com. And as you pull that up, you're going to be able to see the full entity record of who owns that. Now, you're not just going to go to the first level where it's like Sam Smith at ABC Property Management Company. Dear owners, we know that trick. We're going to go one level deeper and see where is the actual state filing or tax filing mailing address going to. And that's going to be the mailing address that you grab. There might be a name with it. There might not. You probably can see who's on with that LLC. You're going to go grab as much information as you can, and you're going to flip that back over to Fast People Search or True People Search. Again, all free resources. And you're going to go reverse search that mailing address and find your true ownership information. Once you've done that, now you can cross-reference, because that true ownership information should give you mailing address and phone numbers to try, might even give you email address. I typically don't grab those because those seem to be like old school ones, and we really want people opting in authentically with email. I like to grab that over the phone or in events when I can. And as I go to cross-verify, now I'm going to go say, okay, I think I know who my who is. I'm going to go find them on LinkedIn. I'm going to go find them on social media. I'm going to go look them up on Google, see if I can find any sort of association, maybe a chamber of commerce if it's a business owner, and we can link them in that way. Now, the last role that I'm going to do on ownership research is I'm going to research the last transaction history of the property. If you pulled it from title, they should already have some of that information. And if you're using a great database partner, like we partner with RealNext, they have tools that will show you that data. If you use tools like Reonomy, Crexy, they'll show you that data information as well. But again, those are paid resources. So if you don't have those tools yet, you need to get as much from your unpaid resources as possible. See what title can help you out with. Lastly, and this is the most important step, repeat after me. Whatever your dominant hand is, put it up in the air, put the other one over your heart, and repeat. Alicia, come on, repeat it. I will not maintain my database in a spreadsheet. Now let's say it all together. I will not maintain my database in a spreadsheet, because friends, that is not a database. It just won't work. Once you start calling and making notes, you're going to have updates. And I have yet to see, in my 18 years in the industry, I've yet to see an agent that actually does follow up, reading down this huge list of people that they're going to go back, and no matter how color coded or systemized or tagged you get, it's not going to get you where you want to go. You got to put your database into a living CRM system. That's a relationship management system. And that's going to be a tool that can actually help you organize the process. If you don't have one that you know, love, and trust, check out 8-Week Database. We have a few that we recommend. Nucleus is partnered with RealNext, and we think they're incredible. If you're in the commercial real estate space, we're not totally like unbiased. So do your own research and homework. We think RealNext is really lovely because it works across all product types, and it gives you a great end-to-end solution. So if you're looking for multiple tools in your business, it's a great tool for that. Once you've got that in, now you've got accurate information, and you can work through it in your CRM as you make your prospecting calls and you're working to connect with these owners in relationship. You're going to actually sound like a professional. And owners notice when you know details. They notice when you understand a little bit about them and about their ownership, the history, and their property. And that will immediately set you apart from the dial for dollar rookies, from the people that are just dialing till the day they die. This research not only becomes a valuable asset that can actually build equity for your business, this becomes leverage in the very conversations, proposals, and negotiations that are going to set you up for success in your business and that are going to be your first few transactions. Database equals dollars, my friends, and dollars only come when our ownership research is rock solid. So my challenge to you is don't just build a list, and don't get in the habit of every day or every week pulling new lists and always finding some new list to go build. Build intelligence, own the research, and ultimately you'll end up owning the relationships inside your market. If this video has helped you out, please drop us a comment right here below this video. Subscribe and keep coming back to check out how Nucleus wants to help grow and inspire your commercial real estate career. See you on the next one.